In order to avoid a fine... Hold on. I need to fucking... Yeah, okay, that's better. I think it'll be fine. I don't think anything will happen there. I'll check in post. In order to avoid a fine, I strongly recommend you go to the nearest building and perform coitus in a safe area. Are there any dude police? Like, seriously. Stop and think, creator of this game. You have weirdly busty, allergic to... Like, the buttons don't even go all the way up. Like, seriously? Allergic to not having cleavage robots wandering the streets, informing people that coitus is better in a building than in the middle of the sidewalk. Are there any dudes who have exposed chest, like really buff dudes? Roughly, same, shortest, blonde hair, purple eyes, same rough uniform, exposing their pecs. I'm betting you don't! Because I'm betting you're a guy who's never left his basement. And I would accuse you of having kidnapped children and molesting them, but that would require you leaving this basement and having some sort of conversation with a human being, which, as I've been over, is not at all a possibility. I mean, I'm sure you've talked with your mother and father, where they explained to you that you're a disappointment who will never amount to anything, and you said, I'll show you, I'll make a game on Steam that will sell millions of copies for its brilliant writing. But still. God, that monitor's overheating. I should turn that off. But I can't. I'll turn it off when I go to bed. For the record, it's like 4 in the afternoon. Bravo me. I waited until 4 to get drunk. Aren't I classy? Back to the hugging. Hearing the first phrase, I jumped on the spot. On a way that, got between soft Selena's tits pressed against mine. The situation became even more ambiguous. Alright, I need a minute. So, this could be the alcohol, which I need more of after this, by the way. But, okay. Hearing the first phrase, I jumped on the spot. That I get. Blah, 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 coitus, blah, 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 blah. She thinks we're gonna have sex with this thing. And I know I said this thing, it's a human, whatever. I was thinking robot when I said this thing. She thinks we're gonna have sex with the albino. On a way that got between soft Selena's tits pressed against me. Okay, I reread that like 3 times. It still says the same thing. And I have no idea what it means. This isn't me being drunk at this point. I'm not even drunk at this point. I'm tipsy, sure. I'm hardly drunk at this point. I've had several drinks, sure. But I'm not drunk. I'm only tipsy. On a way that got... I'm assuming he means his dick. On a way that my dick... On a way that my dick got between soft Selena's tits pressed against my... That doesn't make any sense. Now, granted, the next sentence, the situation became even more ambiguous, is true, because ambiguous means unclear, and I have no idea what you're talking about. I think I need alcohol, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna give it one more click here. But where did you even get those ideas? Selena continued her soft snuffling and fidgeting. Okay, so because you gave her the time of day, she went from mildly annoyed with you to immediately in love with you and is now just fidgeting, rubbing her tits against your stomach and your dick against hers. Is that what I'm getting? Because that's stupid. I want you to know that's stupid. This game is stupid. Don't spend money. Do not play this game unless you are paid to. There's a lot of positive reviews on this game, and it's not good, alright? Like, even in the situation where you wrote this as, like, a parody of dating sims. No, I don't believe that. Nobody is this good at irony to fucking parody this much. This has to have been something you thought was good. Alright? I refuse to believe you are intentionally bad. That is not an option at this point. There are certain things that are so bad, there's no way you could have been intentionally. Because intentionally making it bad means you throw in some humor, or like you say from the get-go. None of that happened. Alright, there's been like one joke that I can remember I laughed at, and it was earlier in this sit-down. Fucking... This sucks. You have to be paid money to play this, alright? I make a bit of money off advertising, and hopefully I'm getting some Patreon people. I swear I'll make a video talking about my Patreon. Maybe tomorrow, definitely the day after that, if not tomorrow. Like, I have to do that. It's money that I could be making, for God's sakes. Anyways, she is human. Yeah, I know. Even if because of her characteristics, she probably has no interest in any of that. Yeah, no albino wants sex, right? Fuck that. If you're an albino, you're not interested in sex. Fucking, you're weird. You're not part of society. You're autonomous weirdos who just hang around doctors' offices, following orders because you're all autistic. That's the purpose of albino. What is wrong with you? Guy that wrote this. You may hear the bottle of alcohol. I like... Kraken Rum's got some handles on it that make it look like it's, I don't know, supposed to be tentacles, I guess. I like playing with them when I'm ranting. Whatever. But it seems the body of a mature adult girl reacts with a simple, natural excitement to the proximity of a penis. Anyway, robot speaking. In order to prevent misinterpretation of the current situation, I strongly recommend you to put on your pants. Oh, so we took our pants off. Not just our belt, like it suggested. We took our entire pants off. You know what? That's a good point, robot. I agree with you, 100%. I was so ashamed that I thought it could not be any worse. But looking down, I realized it could. You bet it could. How could it be worse? Apparently, I did not notice that my pants had dropped because Selena hugged me at that exact moment. Oh, so we took our belt off. Is there alcohol in this? No. Great. So apparently we took our pants off. No, I'm sorry. We took our belt off. And when Selena here hugged us, our pants fell down. Great! That's what happens when you get hugs. As an extremely tall man, 2 meters if you're wondering, I am used to women, shall we say, being lower than me when hugs come around. Their physical status, shall we say, is not quite up to par with mine since I usually tower over people. On certain occasions where I've been hugged by women, even shorter women, I'm talking like 5'0" to 5'5". Even on those occasions when I'm not wearing a belt, and I usually am, my pants don't come down. And if they did, I would fucking notice it. And now I'm standing in the middle of the street with my pants down and pressing my parts against a girl. A young-looking girl. Great. I almost killed my... Oh, I wish you did. I'm not gonna promote suicide and murder and shit. I wish this guy would kill himself. Not you, author. Not even you, honestly. Like, you clearly made a game. Bravo to you for making a game. It's a shit game, but it's one more game than I've ever made. I mean, I could do better than this. Provided, just in terms of writing, I could do better than this. And I am doing better than this, working on a fanfic that's never going to be finished. Blech! I almost killed myself when I jumped and tangled in my pants. I quickly put my belt back and fixed my clothes and wiped sweat off my forehead, all in one motion, with a handkerchief that was on the ground with the belt. Remember that? But my face was still flush with embarrassment. Nothing happened, it's just an accident. I've used that excuse in court. I remembered some old jokes about the guy who slipped and accidentally sticked his dick into the neighbor's wife. I think it's from some movie, actually. Maybe Confessions of a Window Cleaner? I don't know. Noted, this incident has been settled. Have a pleasant day. I turned back to Selena, but at the last moment I noticed something. It seemed that Garda winked at me. Another strange creature. Oh, right. The Gardas are all about... I notice you're not having sex with your Garda. Fucking what's wrong with you? Writer. I took Selena's hand and we walked down the pavement, stuffing carefully on the lines between the tiles. The girl's breath was already even. Blush disappeared from her cheeks. She was calm and looking away. As if nothing happened. I even felt jealous. We were walking down the pavement. First of all, I've known albinos who are awesome. Cool dudes. Athena, I'm referring to you. You're a cool dude. Wherever you are. I don't know what happened to Athena, but she's awesome. Bravo to her. I'm raising my empty mug of nothing to Athena. She was a cool person. Okay? Spilled some rum on myself, because there's residual rum here. Not important. Point is, she was awesome. She would get drunk with me while we were in high school. She'd get high. I didn't. Not my thing. It was her thing. More power to her. She was an awesome person. Played guitar. Was funny. Hated certain people. Loved other people. Normal person, by all accounts. This is not an accurate representation of albinos, and it pisses me off. Furthermore, it's not even an accurate representation of introverts. I know introverts, okay? Just talk to them, alright? They're afraid they will do something that will offend you, okay? That's introverts. And honestly, like 99 times out of 100, if anyone's going to do something that offends the other person, it's you, alright? The introvert's too afraid to do anything. And as a result, they're afraid anything they do will offend you and make them hate you and ignore you and forget you forever. Not the case. Interact with introverts. Talk to them. They're not good at conversations. Fucking drag them into conversations. Give them prompts. It helps. I've known easily over a dozen people that are clearly introverts, but I just hang out with. I don't know why. I'm attracted to introverts for some reason. We were walking down the pavement and going somewhere holding our hands. Great. In order to change the subject, I started thinking about Selena. So in order to change the subject of you almost having sex with Selena, you started thinking about Selena. Why Selena? Why not Selena, for example? As if she were not from this world either. And quite possible. And it's quite possible, I guess? However, local me is named Aki Bar. Yeah, funny that. That was a nickname you acquired. And she is Selena. Like the android's name is Garda, not Garda. Well, they would share their last name with Linda then, I suppose, but at the same time they're an android. I assume they're just referred to as Garda. Also, you don't know, maybe Selena's her first name. Who knows? Let's get back to Selena. Maybe she, like Garda, was created artificially, and that's why her name is different. Possible. Listen, Bunny! You're an idiot. And where did this bunny come from? I agree. Why did I call her that? I agree. Because she looks a little like a fluffy rabbit? Not really. And Magician got her from his magical hat? What are you talking about? Aren't you a cyborg by any chance? Gonna give you a pass because you're clearly Russian. It would be are, not aren't. Are you a cyborg by any chance? She answered with a reproachful sigh. Well, yes, a mute robot. What nonsense, a fucking bumblebee. She will now transform into a rabbit and run away into the bushes. None of that made any sense. And I, portraying Alice, would climb down the drain trying to find a hole into their version of Wonderland. Why are you so fixated on this girl who has said 0 words to you? She's the fucking secretary of a hospital, man. She just showed you where to go. You're really fixated on her. Did you know she was on the cover of the game? Because she is. She's what I based my thumbnail off of. Shall we go somewhere? I've never been anywhere in this place yet. Around the corner, I could see giant sweets hanging right in the air. Wait, so there's just floating candy? Apparently it was an advertisement for a cafe. Oh, okay. Alright. Holographic, like, cookies and shit. An advertisement which is broadcast directly into your brain, so you cannot even switch channel. What horror. Selena stopped and looked at the pavement with no lines. Oh, sorry, I near forgot. Let's do some rails for you. My pale little tram. So are you cheating on your wife at this point? Is that what's happening? This time I was carefully holding my pants up while I helped Selena keep balance. Apparently all lines can be connected within a belt's length, which also varies, by the way. Like, my belt's pretty big because I'm a large dude. 2 meters tall. I'm not, like, gangly or anything. I fit that shape. I'm not in great athletic shape, let's be fair, but, you know, I'm not rotund and gonna roll down the stairs or anything. I'm an average enough looking guy. This time I was carefully holding my pants up while I was helping Selena keep balance. My point is, belts are different sizes and you're a fucking idiot. We entered the cafe all dressed up. Why? What? Huh? The belt in the pants, handkerchief in the pocket. You had a pocket in your shirt? And stopped again. There were no lines on the floor. Selena sighed and got hold of my palm with both hands. Why does she have to go where lines? If she is a robot, I guess she has to follow lines, but why would you make a robot that's also looks like an albino? That's a bizarre choice. Like, okay, I get giving robots and androids or whatever you want to call them skin to fit in and integrate into society, but why albino? Black, Asian, white, you know, that all makes sense. There's different nationalities and shit. Albinos are rare, okay? And it would throw people off seeing an albino android. I'm just saying. You know, I'm sure, you know, an albino person, great. You know, good on you. You're living life, you're a human being, blah, 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 blah. Like, why make an albino robot? That just doesn't make sense to me. Just make him a robot. Give him white skin, black skin, make him look Asian, make him look, you know, Indian, I don't know. But albinos are rare. People would stop and take notice of that. You want your androids to blend into society. You don't want the minority, bizarre skin colors coming in. That's rude. I'm sorry. I don't... Like I said, I'm drunk. Don't take a lot of what I say into terribly much context. My point is, it's weird to make an albino robot if you're trying to blend robots into society, because albinos are rare. I've known an albino woman. She's a lovely person. I don't really know what else to say from that, because I honestly haven't seen her since high school. At least in high school, she was a lovely person. Like, the fact that she was albino caught me off guard for, like, the first day I knew her, and after that it was just kind of commonplace. Making an albino robot just draws attention to the fact that it's a robot, whereas clearly the Gardas are non-albino, but still robots. That's my point. I'm not trying... Whatever. I'm drunk. Don't take anything I say that you might find offensive terribly out of context. I'm just saying, it's weird. It would be like giving your albino an antenna, or a third... What is wrong with me? It would be like giving your robot an antenna or a third eye. Alright, no, that's not even fair. That's not fair. It'd be like giving your robot a 6th finger. There are people with 6 fingers. Sure, it happens. But it's not terribly common, okay? People would notice it and see this. Alright? They would... Whatever. I'm gonna stop talking. I assume people who are watching get it. And I'm just going to move on with the game, because that's probably why you're watching. Well, not even all my clothes will do the trick here. Even if I strip off my clothing and lie down on the floor and imitate lines with my naked body. But I need to do something. I have to. Or it's like to give a wheelchair to a disabled person and then take it back for the rest of their life. You could just not go to the club. Go somewhere else, dude. I looked on the floor, on the tables with visitors, on the tubes with ketchup and mustard. Huh? No, probably those are not ketchup and mustard since they are green and blue. You're an idiot. Those are something else. But still, I narrowed my eyes, wondering if Selena would be walking on a slippery, sticky line drawn on the floor with an unknown sauce. I'm going to assume you're referring to what's in the bottles. And when I opened my eyes, the terminal's click worked. A virtual popped up over a tube, and now the item edit seemed very interesting. Color, shape, texture, primitives? A click with the other eye opened a submenu. Color, shape, texture, primitives. I chose the color at first and made ketchup red. Bingo! Now the floor, edit, primitives, line. I blinked, staring at a line, then blinked again, fixing it, and end near the empty table of the balcony. Yes, that's a good choice. Up there we'll be separated from everyone. Introverted people rarely enjoy a crowd and attention. I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, like, I've known introverts, they don't want to be the center of attention, but they also don't mind being out and observing people. They can go with exceptions, sure, fine. There are introverts that don't want to go outside, but there are plenty of introverts who will go to a place full of people and just, they're not comfortable talking to people. They're fine being around people. Like, they'll go to a club, provided they're with a friend. They're just not going to walk up to a stranger and start a conversation. That's, whatever. You're an idiot, author. That's my point. I shook my head. The line stayed on the floor as if it was always there. So you can just add a line. I now have a freaking MS Paint. Isn't that copyright? Installed into my head. Oh yeah, Google is also copyright. Well, not in my head, but in the glasses. It's exactly in the head for others. And now, what now, by the way? Bunny. That's her name. Do you see the line? Selena looked on the floor. I haven't had alcohol in enough time. It's also roughly time to end the episode. So, I'll end with a nice drink. That's enough rum. Time to add the ginger ale. Selena looked at the floor. I pointed my finger internally. She does not. Okay, so we added a line just for ourselves. That's elegant. Nice. Alright. So, I'm going to end with a drink because I haven't had one in a long enough time. And I think, well, nothing particularly per one screen has made me want to get drunk. Overall, I think I need more alcohol. So, thank you. Down the hatch first. Right. As I said, down. Alright. I can do this. Down the hatch. Ask clown, shrewd negotiators, etc.